Hello everybody, I'm Eternal Reading. We're back again for another tag video. The tag is called the Train Tag, and I was tagged by Derek Green, and I'll put his channel in the description, but the creator of the tag was Alan's Reads. I'll put his name in the description as well. There's him and a few other hosts that were doing the March and the Reels for this month, and I got one wee short story review up of Clive Barker's The Midnight Meat Train. I was going to have Real C up today, hopefully, for a review for it, but epic failure. I couldn't, after 150 pages, I couldn't continue on. It's just, that was my fault. It's not for me. So you didn't get that. You didn't get the review for Real C, but now what you get, because the stars aligned and somebody must have been looking out for me, and Derek Green decided to tag me on the train tag, I can do this instead. So everything works out alright, you know. So that was a bit of good luck. But here we go. As I say, it's a good project. If it's something different from the March of the Mammoths, which seems to be the main project on BookTube every year in March. This is something different, which I liked. And yes, we'll go on with the prompts. And the first one is The Great Railway Bazaar, a book featuring an epic journey. And now, it's not an epic book, like massive, because I was going to pick Malisan Book the Fallen. It was like a big series, but then I thought, this just came in my head when I was going through my bookshelf. It's one of my favourite books ever written, and it's only one novel, but it's epic in scope. It's an epic journey for the characters in this novel. It goes through a whole age, and that is the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien. You know, a lot of people's probably, when they thought of a journey, they're thinking Bilbo Baggins, and they're thinking Frodo, and I was thinking them too. You know, they kind of first ones that popped into my head was the Lord of the Rings, and I thought, well, that's the easy option. I thought maybe not many people's thinking about the Silmarillion, so I thought I'd shout that out. That's a great epic journey about the elves when they go from the land of the West, and they actually go into Middle Earth, and the conflict they have with Morgoth, and all his minions and dragons, and it's written like a mythology. So you're getting a lot of like story and plot and history throughout this novel, and then even when you get to the very end, it's even talking about the what were they called? My mind's went a blank. The Numenor, is it? I think it's the Numenor. I think that's who they are. It's like a kingdom of men, and it's all about Sauron starting the rings and all. So it is an epic journey. If you've read Lord of the Rings and you've read The Hobbit, don't expect this to be the same type of story, like same writing style. But for an epic journey, it's probably more epic than them two, because they're more set on ground and with characters. This is like a myth, and it is epic. Like, if you've read it, you know what I mean. It's an epic journey. So that's number one. Number two, A Brief Encounter. A brief or short book you could read while waiting for a train. I said book. I was thinking short stories. So, but I picked two. One is a novel book, which is not that long. It's called The Invention of Morel by Adolfo Boal Carcés. I think that's pronounced. You can see it there. And it's a great story about this man that goes on this island. And he starts to see these recordings, and he falls in love with one of the recordings of this girl, but she's not really there. But 100 pages, 103 pages. If you've missed your train, you're waiting for another hour, maybe. You know, you can power through that. But another one I thought was, that's a very good story. It's one of them ones that's, I think it's gotten more famous in recent memory. But when I thought of that, then it made me think of this writer, Borges, and fictions, or fictions, what do they call it? And what made me think of this one, if you're waiting on a train and you had this book in hand and you read one of the stories, because it's like a short story collection, but the short stories are that dense and deep that after you read one, waiting on your train, there's a great one there, The Library of Babel. While you're waiting on your train, you'd probably be sitting on half your train ride thinking about the fucking story, you know what I mean? Because it's that sort of writing style. His stories don't leave you like that. It's not just plot driven. They stick with you and they make you think, and you get more out of every story the next time you read it too. So it's an absolutely brilliant short story collection. I've read it twice in my life, and I'll definitely read it a third time. And that is Fictions by Borges, or the way you pronounce it. I thought that'd be a great one to take with you for the week, or something. Saying that you'll say you're waiting for your train every morning, and you wanted to read a wee story before you got on the train or on the train to work. That would be absolutely perfect, in my opinion. So number 2, number 3, Bradshaw's Guide, a guidebook to a favourite place or thing. Now this was hard. I went through, I went even outside to my, or downstairs, and then I looked through them books, and then went outside to my books that I stored. I don't really have a book guidebook to a favourite place or thing. And then when I was near giving up, I came up here and I sat down and I looked there again one more time, and dug away at the back there, and enough that was here actually. I found. I thought it might not be the right book for that prompt, you know what I mean? But I thought we'll say it anyway because I want people to know about it. It's still a guidebook to one of my favourite things, which is books. So I'm cheating a bit. That's Rob Doyle's autobibliography. Now, what this book's about is Rob Doyle, who is a journalist from, I think it's the Irish Times down south, and he went on this thing where every week of the year he was going to read, I think it was every week of the year, reread one of his favourite stories or his favourite books, and in every week he brought out a review, but the reviews are a page and a half just, that's it. And then that's a wee bit about him talking about the writer or the time he was reading it. It's around the time of COVID, so it's pretty interesting. He's talking about him not being able to see anybody, but he loves it because he gets peace. So you get this wee sort of like biography about him and just his life, and then it goes on the review. So there's Roberto Bolaño, and it's a guidebook to other great novels. I'm not exaggerating. See some of the books this guy's read and these wee short reviews that he's written out for them. They're all brilliant reviews. It make you want to pick them up straight away. There's one of Moby Dick there. It was great. I laughed like it's. Where is it? It's even he's saying that it could have been edited down to a novella, but it's still great. And I just thought, fuck, there's a lot of people probably agree with that, but I can't find it. But no, honestly, that's a guidebook to books. It's a great. Your TBR is going to be growing if you read this, because it did for me. And I've read a few novels because of this guy in this book, and I don't think any of them's been a bad book, so it's not. But I might dive into this. If people are interested and they want to see more about it or talk more about it, I'll reread it and maybe go through some of the books that are in it, some of the reviews, because that's brilliant. So I've read it twice, so it's not just book reviews that makes it good, it's the actual stuff he's talking about. So, where are we now? Break Hard Pass, number 4. A romance novel or a western. I don't have romance novels, but I got that. I seen this that made me laugh, and I thought I'll show it. The most romantic guy I ever read in a novel. And if anybody's read it, they'll laugh because they'll know about him. He's Mickey Sabbath out of Sabbath Theatre. If you want a story about love and pick that up, it's nuts. So it is. That's a mad one. Sabbath Theatre. It's not romance like, but you've got a crazy character in there, and that's all he's thinking about is lust. You know, Sabbath Theatre. So that's my wee one. As I say, it's maybe not the right sort of book to be picking for it, but it is a cracker book, and it will make you laugh at times. See some of the things this boy Mickey Sabbath does. It's unreal. Philip Roth wrote this, and fuck, your bitch, you're not supposed to laugh at it. Like, I'm sitting there killing myself laughing. You know, it's quite hilarious. Like, but that's my romance pick. But I have a western as well. So I read Warlock not that long ago, and there's a review up now by Matthew from Matthew Reads American Literature, I think his full channel is called, and he's done a review of this recently. It was a very good review, and that's a good western. I've Butcher's Crossing as well, but I couldn't find it. I probably looked at it, and you know, one of the ones where you see it, but it doesn't stick in. You just think you don't see it, but it's definitely there. Butcher's Crossing somewhere. But when I seen this, I just picked this up because it's a very good book, and I wanted to show you his review. Matthew reads American literature. It's a very good review he's done, and what he says is spot on about this novel. So if you want to go more in depth of Warlock by Oakley Hall, it's a good review to check out. So it is, and that's my westerns and romance. But yes, definitely look up Sabbath Theatre. Fucking you'll. It's a great read. Thomas the Tank Engine, a beloved children's book. Now, I only read this last year, and I thought, okay, it probably won't be for me, but I'll give it a go, and I really enjoyed it. And it's funny how the more older you get, the more you can enjoy or appreciate children's literature. Not YA, we're not going there, like, but children's literature, old children's literature, The Wind in the Willows. I read that last year, and the characters are just a delight to read about, and they're quite deep. Some of the chapters are very deep and good morals and very, very cozy. It's like a cozy. This friendship. It's all about friendship and not giving up on each other. Friends. You've got Toad there, who's a nutcase, stealing cars and all. But there's two friends, Badger and the rat and the mole. They're trying to, keep an eye on him and trying to help him. But he's kind of a rough, do what I want to do thing and doesn't think about his actions and consequences. So he always gets himself in the bother. But the friends are always there to try and get him out of it. It's a lovely book. Wind in the Willows. It's getting when wee mole meets the rat at the start and they become a friendship and all. It's a lovely read. And I like the rat. The water rat he was a cool character. That's what he was. If I was a wee mole or a wee animal run the bit, I would like to tie up with these boys because they seem like a good friendship crowd. It's like a bromance novel, so it is very good. The Wind in the Willows. So number 6, The Signalman, a ghost story or a horror. Now I had loads. I could have picked Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, Stephen King, and all, but I don't really like Stephen King anymore. So I could have picked loads, but what I thought I'd do was pick one that not many people talk about as much. It came out a few years ago, and that is John Langan, The Fisherman. This book came out in 20 fuck time's flying in. I didn't think it was that long. 2016. 10 years ago now. Fuck, I remember getting this. I think it was yesterday. The Fisherman, 2016, folks. Fuck me. But I read that. I could review that again, maybe. That's 10 years. I can actually still quite remember it, but too. That's how good it is. Some of the imagery sticks with you. At the end, I remember, I'm not going to ruin it. Might reread that sometime and review it, but it's very good. It is very good. Fans of Lovecraft and the weird tales and the macabre and weird. This is a novel, but there's like a story and then a story within a story, which I love in weird fiction. Stories within a story, I like that, and this has that, and it's definitely a great horror story. The Fisherman by John. I hope you can still get it. I think it's still easy enough to get online and stuff. I'm not sure there's maybe a hardback anymore, but I love that cover as well. Yeah, don't make them like that anymore, folks. 10 years ago, good covers, but fuck, don't know what's happened. Number 7, Strangers on a Train, a new book you hope to read this year. I think I've mentioned this before. It's a book I hope to get to, but there's a couple. And I will get to one of them 100% because I'm really wanting to get to it, but because it's in the Poem Project, I'm waiting until like May, June, remember that time. And that's Needle's Eye by Wisław Wyszlewski. There you go, folks. You could tell me. Fuck, I don't know how you pronounce it. Polish names are some of the hardest names to try and pronounce, like. But Needle's Eye. It sounds very interesting. It sounds like something I would just sit and dive into and try and read between the lines about this character. And I haven't looked up too much about it, but I don't want to. I want to kind of go in blind. Needle's Eye. But the other one that I would love to get to, but that scares me because it's that big, is The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. This is one that I've been looking at for years now. And when I read Impusium, which is kind of loosely based in the sort of same place, the mountain and all, it really made me think, fuck, I would love to get this Thomas Mann novel because I think I would appreciate this a lot more. but it is it's a chunker, and I've rigged it there. Look, that was when I spilt fucking Coke all over it. But it's not too bad. It's dried out okay. But yeah, I hope maybe get to it. You never know. So the last one was Mystery of the Blue Train, a book with a colour in it, and the title or the cover. And I went, right, this is a hard one actually, and then I found this, and it's the only one I could find. And it's called The Grey Prince. I got this at a used bookstore there just before Christmas, by Jack Fance. I still need to read it. I like Jack Fance on there. I read, and I need to pick this up. Let me get to this soon. But I love that cover. It's great. That's the sort of covers I like, you know. And so yeah, The Grey Prince. And that is my books. And then I said tag others, but you see with the tagging others, I don't know who's all been tagged. I think everybody's been tagged who I would tag or think about tagging. So the best way if I'm going to do this is if you watch my channel and you've gotten this far, consider yourself tagged. And you can even say tagged by Eternal Reading, you know, if you want in your video, because I'm tagging every one of these. If you've watched this and you've got this far, you're tagged. And yeah, if you think it's interesting, you want to do it, you can. If you don't, you can just skip by and not say anything. You know, I'm not holding you all at gunpoint here. But there's enough of that in this country. But yeah, fucking, you're all tagged. If you want to, if you're interested in it, give it a go, because it is quite. Yes, it's all about trains questions, but it's nothing about trains and the actual questions either. Really, it's all books just related, and it's fun. And yeah, I'll go here. I don't know, have another video up today. I might not. We'll see. But if not, everybody, try and have a good Monday. I know they're shite, but we can only do our best. So all the best, everybody.